opening standard battleships. So we start by taking our submarines and Xing all the way around them, even diagonally. Okay, there's our submarines all gone. We Xing around them all diagonally, squarely, every which way. Nothing can touch. Now look at this. We're going to go around the back of this one. This is going to be up to 4 pieces long. Now it can't connect even diagonally, which means it can't go there either. But it also means, because this must be a minimum of that size, that there can't be one there, because that would be diagonal. So I do this, because I know that that must be a piece of some sort, but I don't know if it ends there or whether it continues. Right. We will look at that again in a second. It'll be one of the first things we look at. So the same here. Come across. We know there's going to be something here. We don't know how long yet. If you were looking, you might actually have worked it out for the other one. But so we're just going to go around these to start with. That's the first thing I do. You've got to be methodical, because otherwise you'll miss something and then you'll get stuck because you missed something. So I do that as my first move. You can do it any which way you like, but be methodical. Now we look at how many in the row. Look, first I usually go for the zeros. So again, I do this methodically. I start with my zeros. So all the 0 rows, I just put X's in, or the whole row. There's another 0 row, X's in the whole row. Okay. Why have they bothered with a 10th row if there's X's in it? And the columns, again, X them all if there are zeros in. And I think you've guessed what will come after this. So that column as well has zeros. So all of that's very, very easy, and look how much you've done already. We've got 2 submarines, let's cross them off. That's all we can cross off to start with. But what we can also do is we can now look at the ones. Look, 1, there's only 1 in there, but it's already there, so X it off. There's a 1 in there, it's already there, X it off. There's a 1 in there, and it'll have to be there, so X that lot off. Now I usually stop at the 1s. The higher numbers I'll deal with later on, because what usually starts to happen is things like this. It's got to be 2, because there can't be 1 there. So we've got a 2. Cross it off. Something else has happened here, which is we've got a 3 in this column. 1, 2, 3. So there cannot be any more in that column. Again, this one must be rounded there because there's an X square next to it anyway, but there can't be anything more in that column because we've got our 3. So that's another destroyer gone. They're the 2 unit ones. Here's a 1 again that I missed. Okay. Now the next thing I tend to do is I say, well, we've got to have a battleship somewhere. It's 4 squares long. Where could it go? Could go along here because there's 5 in that row. Can't go in any other rows. Can it go in any columns? Well, we've got a 4 column here, but it can't go there because one of those is going to be this, and so we can only have the maximum of a 3. Same here. Look, we've already got a submarine in that 4 column, so it must be in this column. It must start at this end. So we know that's the 4 there, right? Couldn't be a 3 because there isn't room for the other 2 bits, and plus, as we've said, it's the only place a 5 can fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that means that this must be a submarine because it's got X's all around it to make up the 5. The battleship is crossed off now. And again, we can look at this and we can say 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no other available places, so there must be the other 3 there, which is one of the cruisers. So we've only got 1 more cruiser. We can apply the same sort of logic we applied to doing the battleship with the cruiser, this 3 that's missing. So it can't go in this 3 here because we can't go in that one there because we've got already something there. It can't go here because we've got that one. It can only go here, or it can't go there because there's only space for 2. So it must be somewhere in here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, which means that it must take up those 2 squares at least. And that will be a 3, so I'll write a 3 in there as well. We've got our 3 there. for this row. So we can X everything else in that row. And we've got our 2 for that row, we've got our 3 for this row, we can X that one. Means this must be a rounded end. We know this must be a 3, we've decided that, so let's finish it off. We've got our 4 now for that column. 1, 2, and only space for 2 more there, but we don't know what they are, so we'll just put a little dot in the middle. You see 1, 2, and 3, so only one of these is going to be 2 long and one is going to be 1 long. So let's get some more clues. Well, we've got to have 2 in here, haven't we, because that's a 2. So that's going to be the 2, that's going to be the 1. Now, we've got 1 battleship, 2 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 1, 2, 3, 4 submarines. So we've got everything counted for, and then we just count across 1, 5, 0, 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1, 2. And we can check it vertically as well if we want, but the chances of it being wrong if it was correct horizontally are ridiculously slim. And that is how we do the battleships. That's a logical way to do the battleships. That's how I do it logically.